Here we have a 2023 BMW M850i. This one is an xDrive with the M Sport package as well as the professional package. And this one comes in the carbon black metallic, and then we get the night blue and black leather interior. And the powertrain consists of a 4.4 liter twin turbocharged V8 engine, made it with an 8-speed shiftable automatic transmission, and that gets us 523 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque. But coming around to the front end here, love that look there. We get LED headlamps along with LED daytime running lights. And BMW calls it the laser headlamps, but love everything from the grille to the headlamps. Just the design of this front end is spectacular, and the grille doesn't look too big on this car. But coming around to these wheels here, we get these gloss black M Sport wheels. Those are going to be 20-inch aluminum wheels. But love the looks of this car, just from the black mirror caps here, how it goes with the paint. We get passive keyless entry on the doors. Power door lock controls are here. We get a Harman Kardon sound system, which sounds spectacular, very clear. And then we have memory seats, and to do that, hit set and hold the one you want to set it to. And then we get automatic one-touch up and down windows, all four of the windows. And then what's great is you can pull them up and down one at a time, or all at the same time, excuse me, with that big button there. Then power folding mirrors are there. And then we can use our power mirrors here, right side, left side, and you can adjust using this dial. And then still have storage in the door panel, which is nice. And we get a power lift gate as well, but the top has to be up to use that. Otherwise we can't get to the trunk area, but that's cool that you're able to do that when the top is up. We're gonna hit this twice, pop the hood. Headlamp controls are here. Brightness for the gauge cluster there. Y'all can see that good. And then we have a power tilt telescope steering wheel. And then here's our power driver's seat. We do get power lumbar support 4-way. And we also have power seat bolsters. And then we have a manual thigh support. But let's check out the rear seat. Pretty easy to get to. Just pull that up there. But as you can see, not a lot of room. But if a shorter person were sitting up front, you do have that adjustability where it's able to power push itself up. So you get the right size people in here, get a good configuration going. You could fit 4 people in here. But I think it's pretty neat that the seat goes back to where it's supposed to be after you fold it back up. But as we come around to the back end here, huge shout out to Auto Collection of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below to it in the description below. And there's the exhaust. Now, as I said earlier, to get this open, you have to have the top up. So I'll show you that in a minute. The fuel cap is there. Premium's recommended. And then for the front passenger seat, same adjustability as you get on the driver's side. Again, with that power headrest as well. And then memory seat function 2. Lockable glove compartment right in there with the owner's manuals. Let's go ahead and take a look at the engine bay. And there she is, 4.4 liter twin turbocharged V8. Mostly covered up there, but looks fantastic. Let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. And as much as I love having the top down, it'll be easier to show everything with it up. And plus I want to show you all the trunk space. So let's go ahead and pull up to put the top back up. Then of course you press it down to put it down. But a nice leather wrap steering wheel here. And We can go ahead and heat that using that button right there in the middle. And love the overall design as well, having that 3-spoke feel and then little fatter edges there to grip onto. But to the radio here, pretty much BMW's standard look. So we have a home page here, several different options to choose from, and then we have all of our options here on the left side. So AM, FM, Bluetooth audio, XM, then your presets. You can set all those up so they go together, and then you can toggle through those. So I like that you're able to do that, because I don't necessarily want all XM radio stations. Maybe I have 3 FM, 2 AM, and the rest are XM. I want to have them all in there together, so I like that. And for the navigation screen, go to where to. Pretty easy to walk you through, points of interest. And then you can also use voice recognition or start typing out suggestions, and then it'll filter out the closest possibilities on the right side there. Then go to car here, settings in here, and then you can toggle or set up your individual modes. And then exterior lighting, you can set all that up. Then your general settings are here, so you can change your language there. And then your units of measurement here for consumption, distance, power, torque. And I like that you're able to get really nitty gritty with that. Even temperature, if you want to change that to Celsius, you can pretty easily. And then your audio or your sound for bass, treble, and all that's in there too. And driver assistance, you have a few things that you can adjust there. And then this is something I always found silly, but they're cool. The experience mode, so you can hit executive, then hit expressive, and then you can also go to well-being. So some of those are just based on, like, if you have the top down or whatever, I think. Because I know on the X6 I just reviewed, you were able to, it would open the sunroof for you, or the sunshade, based on one of those experience modes. So just interesting. But we do get that wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. All of our apps are in here as well, if you ever need those. I'm trying to think what else. That's pretty much it. Then if you ever want to set up your phone, connect a new phone, then it walks you right through it. So searching for nearby devices, and it'll pull up on your phone to connect there. But hazards are here, and then you can toggle your safety settings there. Then backup cameras there, guidelines follow you. You should turn the steering wheel. And we have it in park now. And then I love BMW's dual zone climate controls, because I'm able to actually adjust the fan speed for one side without it affecting the driver's side. And then AC toggle there, go to the menu here, and then it'll pull up where you can synchronize the AC controls. And then you can also go through your heated cooled seats here as well. And then you can toggle those as you see fit. But auto mode there, and I like that you can turn that on and off on either side. And then volume knob, click there for mute. You can go through your modes there. So presets, XM, FM, AM. And then you can go through your bands here, and then your favorites, when they're assigned, you can go through those there. Wireless charging pads back here. You can stow all that away. Cup holders here, USB-A port right in there, and then we do have a 12-volt there. And then traction control toggle, parking sensors, auto stop, sport, comfort, eco pro, adaptive, and then your automatic brake hold, electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down and disengage. And then this is your, I forgot what they call it already, but basically it blows air at the back of your neck to keep it warm. Let's say you're driving around with the top down, it's kind of cool in the morning, it's nice to have that, and you have that for either side. And then all of our shortcuts for those radio suggestions, you can go through that here. So if you don't want to use the touchscreen for whatever reason, you use the scroll knob, and then you have your shortcuts, so that'll take you straight to the map, and that'll take you straight to the home page, that'll take you straight to media. So it's pretty neat. Center console cubby space is pretty huge in my opinion for this kind of vehicle. And then another 12-volt that's illuminated, and then you have a USB-C charge port in there. But there's a view of the back seat from up here with the top up. Take a quick look at the vanity mirror here. Small, but I like the light. And then we can pull that over there. But back to the steering wheel. Cruise controls here, speed limiters here. We can set and then resume, cancel, and we can adjust the speed there. And then over here, volume controls, Bluetooth controls, and then we can go through our track list or radio stations here. And then voice recognition, Bluetooth. Hit this button here, and you can see on the heads-up display that I can scroll through my presets if I want to, and then scroll through all of those as well using the scroll knob here. Or I can do it for the XM stations, the FM stations, all that. And I like that the FM, it's pretty much only showing you what's available. It's not having you go through every single bandwidth, which is good or bad depending on what situation you're in. But paddle shifters are behind the steering wheel there. Automatic high beam toggle is that button there. And then we can change the view on that right side of the gauge cluster with that top button. Blinkers, high beam toggle, turn them off there, and you can flash there as well. And then to the right side, windshield wiper controls one time. Then we have off, auto, low, high. And then the auto mode, you can control the sensitivity of it. And when they're on, that'll light up green. And then just pull up for the front wiper fluid. There's another look at that digital gauge cluster, heads-up display, and then push button starts there. Let's go ahead and open the trunk. Why it doesn't want to open. There it is. It is extremely slow, I'll give it that. I don't know why, but it takes its time opening up. And then I think I done broke something, but there's a space with a top up. So interesting setup in there. We can close that from back here. Yeah, it sits there and buzzes at you for about 2 seconds before it actually wants to fold down. But finally, here's the key fob. But next is go ahead and take this M850i out on the road for a quick test drive. Now, starting the test drive in this M850i, I wanted to start it out in sport mode because, specifically in Sport Plus mode, because I wanted to see what it had, and my goodness, this thing is fast. Extremely quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my foot into it, getting on the interstate here. And let's see how it does. Here we go. Goodness gracious. Oh my gosh. Oh man, wow, that was something. That's pretty much all I can say there. My gosh, this thing is so freaking quick. And of course it feels even crazier because it is a twin turbo V8, but that felt like a roller coaster, and the sound from the exhaust, oh, incredible. But I have it back in the comfort mode now, and just a little bit of noise from the tires. I mean, these are, I think, 20s, and you're in this low-slung convertible, so you're gonna hear some road noise, but honestly, it's nothing. It's really nothing. That's the best way to put it. Still great sound in the cabin with the top up. And the ride is so great. It's just, I feel nimble, but I'm extremely comfortable. Even in these somewhat stiffer seats, they're still really comfortable. And especially on a hot day like today, it's nice to have them cool, and you can pretty much adjust how you want to feel. Even with that neck heater, it's just, you can really dial into your comfort there. So in Eco Pro mode now, still a pretty, with the paddle shifters on, it's still pretty easy to shift. And then if you want to take those off when you're not in manual mode, just hold that plus button and then it'll put you back in a regular drive. But I can also put it into the actual manual mode where you are in control, and then you get those sportier shift points as well. So even in Eco Pro mode, you can put the sport shifts on, which is interesting. But I mean, I'm gonna put it back in the drive there because the sport is just so much fun. And I mean, the backfire you hear from that exhaust, oh gosh, it's incredible. Oh man, it's just so much fun to drive this thing. It's just extremely quick, and the sounds, again, the sounds are just crazy. But everything's so calculated as well. Like, you can expect that backfire at a certain point anytime when you're downshifting. Now for $110,000, this is still a pretty expensive vehicle, but again, for the performance you get, pretty much a bargain. And it looks great, it sounds great, especially with the top down. You feel like you're driving a Lamborghini instead of a BMW drop top, but it really doesn't matter because this will smoke a lot of Lamborghinis anyway. But it's just a fun sleeper car. It looks like it would ride silky smooth, and the ride is great, but this is really a performance monster. That's what it is. Just so fast, sounds so good. You put it in a comfort mode, no one will see you coming. You put in a Sport Plus, people are like, whoa, what is that? But I'd get one if I could afford one. And this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2023 BMW M850i.